Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I have one of the most basic Konas that you can buy brand new, and it even has a flip key. So if you follow me here on the channel, and you know I recently posted a video on another 2023 Kona, and that is the SEL with convenience package, which is a fair step up from this base model SE. Now the Kona did receive a refresh for the 2022 model year, so there really isn't too many changes that occurred here for the 23 model year, minus some packaging and just overall options and feature changes within the trim levels. Now, if you're curious about all the model year changes here on the Hyundai Kona, I have a dedicated video here on the channel, so make sure to check that out if you're curious about what changed in every trim level of the Kona. But as far as the SE trim level goes, there are a bunch of new standard features for a fairly small price increase. Now, some of the new standard features on the base SE Kona include heated side mirrors with turn signal indicators, rear USB outlet, blind spot collision avoidance assist, rear cross traffic collision avoidance assist, and safe exit warning. So overall, it's nice to see that Hyundai is including more safety systems here, even in this base SE trim level for under $25,000. So now in terms of pricing for the 23 model year, like I said, it did receive a small price increase because of those new standard features, I'm assuming. But overall, the SE all-wheel drive, which is what we have here, starts out at $24,785, including destination. And this represents a $690 increase over the 2022. So I think the $690 increase is well justified here on the base Kona, especially considering they added heated side mirrors and that rear USB outlet. If you live anywhere in a colder climate that gets snow, you'll know that not having heated side mirrors in the wintertime can be a nice pain in the butt, especially if you have to park outside. So considering they added that to the base level Kona, I think that's well worth it. So with all this information in mind, let's not waste any more time and take a look at what the 2023 Kona SE all-wheel drive has to offer for just under $25,000. So the Kona in front of us is finished in ultra black with the gray kind of two-tone interior. I am excited to show you this interior. I think it looks very nice, especially for a base model. But you can see here in the sunlight, there is a good amount of metallic flake in this paint, and it is kind of colored as well. So it kind of has a green, pinkish, bluish tint to the metallic flake. But up front of the Kona SE, you're gonna find a pretty basic front end, but it does look very nice again for a base entry model. Up top, you have LED daytime running lights, incandescent turn signals, and halogen projector headlights down below with some silver accented trim. And that trim continues on the bottom of the front bumper as well, and a matte black grille overall. Like I said, it isn't the worst front end for a base model. I like the silver accents around the headlight and the lower bumper. And you do have a lot of black body cladding on the bottom, like many SUVs these days. If you do want paint matched body cladding, you have to get the N-line trim for that. Coming over the wheels and tires, it is nice to see silver painted alloy wheels here on the base model. The tires are 205/60 16-inch Hankook Kinergy GT, so these are 16-inch alloy wheels and just a nice all-season tire overall. Body color mirror caps as well as door handles, so again, nice to see on a base model. And like I mentioned, this is new for 2023 on the SE, is the turn signal indicators on the outside, and the mirrors are heated as well. Blind spot monitoring is standard on the SE. No proximity entry or anything like that. Like I mentioned, this is a flip key, so kind of an old school key design, but it does have a remote unlock and lock, so not completely bare bones. Coming to the back, you do have full incandescent taillights. Your turn signals and reverse lights are down here on the bumper, along with more of that silver accented trim. Overall, I'm glad that they did this silver accent. It kind of breaks up the design overall. And since this one is all-wheel drive, you do have a silver all-wheel drive badge and backup camera, of course, which is federally mandated. Overall, I think the Kona is still a very attractive SUV. You can see here on the base model, you do not get rear tinted windows, which is something that I would be a little concerned about, but you can always do that after the fact with the aftermarket. So overall, that's not a huge cost or anything like that. And it's worth noting that this one is technically over $25,000 because this one does have quite a few accessories on it. But you can see the window sticker, the standard features, is fairly short, so it is kind of funny to see hardly any print here on the window sticker. But stepping inside, like I mentioned, this one has the gray cloth interior. So it kind of has a two-tone look to it. I think it looks very nice again for a base model. The door panel is going to be fully hard touch materials, but you can see the gray accents on the door panels and the armrest here. Power windows, mirrors, and locks with a gray accented door handle pull. 2 speakers for that audio system. The driver's seat is 6-way manual adjustment, so you do have height adjustment in addition to slide and recline. And you can see the two-tone seats here. It's a very light gray with that patterned interior insert. Go ahead and step inside and start it up. Here is the key fob. Like I mentioned, this is just the remote unlock and lock with the flip key function. So immediately you're greeted with the analog gauge cluster, but it does have a nice 4.2-inch color display in the middle for some of the tire pressure monitoring system. Overall MPG, you have a digital speed readout if you'd like it. You just have some of your other vehicle settings, including the all-wheel drive system in that little cluster display. Just a urethane steering wheel, not leather wrapped of course, but then again, that shouldn't be expected on a base model in this segment. We do have your audio controls on the left with the infotainment and voice command. On the right, you have some of your Hyundai safety systems as well as the controls for that display in the cluster. Lane following assist is standard. You do have the collision avoidance assist and all that stuff, but this is just regular cruise control. Automatic headlights, again, nice to see on a base model. Regular wiper stock. Since this one is all-wheel drive, you do have the downhill brake assist function over here. Gauge illumination, traction control off. And like I showed in my last Kona video, this one has the round air vents. I think it's a neat design. You twist it to close it and open it. But overall, the dash is going to be hard touch materials throughout. Again, the Kona is not super luxurious on the interior to start, but especially not in these base model trim levels. Coming over to the infotainment system, this is going to have the base 8-inch screen. So this does support wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay, which again is nice. You can also get this in the base SEL trim level, but if you step up to anything higher than the SEL convenience, like I showed in my last Kona video, then that'll get the 10.25-inch screen with just wired functionality. But overall, I think a lot of people do appreciate the base 8-inch infotainment system here in Hyundai's vehicles. You can control or view some of your climate settings on here. This does not support Sirius XM, unfortunately, here in the SE. So that is my one complaint, but again, you have those wireless streaming services, and I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't consider that a deal breaker by any means, as you do have USB functionality as well. Single zone manual climate controls with all of your knobs and dials down here. You can see your USB charge ports, USB data port, and a 12-volt outlet. And overall, a good amount of storage down there if you want to set your phone or anything like that. Coming down to the shift lever, it's just a urethane wrap shift knob, pretty basic stuff. You do have a drive mode here, even in the base model, so you have normal, sport, and smart. Since this one is all-wheel drive, you have your center differential lock, which will send power 50-50 front and rear. Stop, start, off button. Manual parking brake. 2 cup holders. Here's your gray center armrest. It is softly padded. Inside, not going to find much, just a little bit of extra storage space, but overall nice to have. It does not slide. Light colored headliner. Does have a mirror, but there's no illumination here in the vanity. Incandescent interior illumination up here. Sunglasses holder, which again is going away in a lot of other Hyundai models, so nice to have that. Manual dimming rear view mirror. But yeah, overall a pretty basic front seat, and I'm assuming that will continue into the back seat as well. So let's go ahead and check that out. So here in the back, the door panels are going to be fully hard touch once again. But you do have the power rear window switch, of course. There's your 2-tone seats, which continue here in the back. Stepping inside, the step-in height is pretty good overall. Very easy to get into, and I think that's why a lot of people do like these Konas. Here's another new feature that is standard on all Konas for 2023, and that is the rear USB charge port. You had to get a limited or an N in the last model year just to get the USB charge port, so it's nice to see that is now standard equipment, but you don't have rear AC vents or anything like that. No mat pockets on the backs of the seats. So overall pretty basic, but again, nice to have a rear charge port. That is not found in every Hyundai vehicle at this point. It's also nice to have a rear armrest here in the base model. That again is not found in every base Hyundai model. So again, nice to see that. The seats do fold 60-40 split, so you can fold down just this side or the main portion or both. But overall, not too bad of an interior here in the back seat, just really basic, but it's not too small. Definitely a step up from something like the Venue. Coming to the back, you do have an electronic tailgate release, but there's no power, of course, not in this segment of vehicle. The storage base is going to be similar to that of a small hatchback, or just smaller depending on the hatchback you are comparing it to. You do have your privacy cover up top, but overall no charge ports, no 12-volt outlets or anything in the back. Just a light here on the left side, a couple of hooks, and a little storage cubby. This one does have quite a few accessories, including the first aid, trunk mat, everything like that. This one does have the dual level floor, so you can move the floor down a couple inches just to gain a little bit more height above it. But you can see you do have your compact spare tire. Overall, nice to have that spare. So wrapping it up here on the passenger front seat, four-way manual passenger seat, so no height adjustment. Hard touch dash, of course, with that nice pattern that I showed in the SEL video. Non-damped glove box, but again, it does have a light, which again, I don't know why the Kona has a illuminated glove box where some of the other upper trim levels don't in certain models, but again, that's a nice benefit, I guess, if you do a lot of nighttime driving. So let's go ahead and take a look under the hood, see what powers the Kona, and we'll wrap up this video. So under the hood of the base model Konas, you're gonna find the same naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder engine that puts out 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque through either front wheels only or all wheels, depending if you get all-wheel drive or not. This engine is gonna be found under all Konas minus the N line and the N trims where they get the 1.6-liter turbo or the 2-liter turbo, depending on the respective trim level. But overall, a pretty fuel efficient engine. So that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video on the 2023 Kona SE. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, I think this interior is actually fairly interesting for a base level Kona. It breaks up all the sea of black plastics that would normally be with the black interior, kind of gives you these interesting seats. Although I definitely would be careful if choosing this interior that you don't normally work in a dirty environment or have maybe pets or anything like that, because this is a very light interior. I mean, it's nearly white in certain lights. So it's about the lightest gray you can get, so I definitely be careful choosing it. Now with that being said, I'm just happy to show you some of these entry-level or base model vehicles here on the channel, because a lot of the reviewers and press always get the top trims. So it's nice to have these base SE trim levels and the lower SEL trim levels, because I think a lot of people do want to see what you get on the bare bones version of each model. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the SE Kona, and like I said, I have a video on the SEL Convenience. So if you guys want to see what about $30,000 gets you, including all-wheel drive and destination, make sure to check that video out. So overall, my thoughts here on the 2023 Kona is I like the changes that they made for 23, including the heated side mirrors, the rear USB port, and some of the extra safety systems. Again, this is all-wheel drive equipped for under $25,000 without a bunch of accessories or extra cost paint color. So again, I think that's pretty competitive in this market if you need all-wheel drive. So if you enjoyed watching or found this video helpful, please hit that like button. It greatly helps out these videos and the channel. And speaking of helping out the channel, make sure to subscribe if you guys are not already. I appreciate everybody's support thus far. And again, I have a bunch of other automotive related content. So if you're interested in Chevy, Hyundais, model year change videos, all that kind of stuff can be found here on the channel. So make sure to check all that out. So once again, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And as always, I hope to see you guys in the next one.